Hello, we are the Damsels Game. The Damsels are three lady gamers who like to play games and then talk about them. It's been a few weeks, but we are back. Break's over. Now it's time to get back to work, so to speak, and talk about all the games we've been playing on hiatus. And the Damsels of DDO do love a good sale, I'll say that much. When something's on sale, it's really hard for us to resist it, especially if we have our eye on it for a while. Thanks so much for listening. This week, the Damsels Game has a sponsor. We are sponsored by the Skyblock Mall Experience. The Minecraft villagers have consensually relocated for your shopping convenience. Nobody's forced them into this life. Certainly not. That would be wrong. And,
I don't think you know what that word means.
So, come on down to the mall and shop. This week's featured shop is going to be talked to you about by Mythery.
And I'm speaking for Bob's Beautiful Banners. We have rainbow flags, flower flags, banners with your castle colors. You dream it and we'll darn it. Fly your freak flag now with a flag from Bob's Beautiful Banners. Bob's sleeping.
Yeah, Bob's asleep. Somebody got away. That's unfortunate.
You said it was consensual.
It was consensual.
And then you said somebody got away.
Well, I have to go get him.
See, I don't...
Is there some gray area going on here? A little bit of gray area. Mm-hmm. The Damsels is recorded live on Sunday, September 26th. This is our 154th show. We put shows out whenever we can. You can listen via iTunes, Podcast Addict, our website, damselsofddo.com, our home at Podcast Garden, also on our YouTube channel. That's dead last on my to-do list, folks, so always, always, always subscribe. And matter of fact, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. What's wrong with you? What? Sorry. I promised I wouldn't berate the listeners anymore. Only Fred gets berated now.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
And what's wrong with you, Fred? Go subscribe. All right.
He probably is subscribed.
Probably. Did we get any emails this week?
You know, I moved, so I didn't get a chance to check.
Ruh-roh, we could have an email sitting in there right now. We probably don't. You could email us at thedamselsgame@gmail.com, and you could tell us about how we're not getting any email.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it here on this show the very next time. So
We will. I will check before the next
You'll
time.
check before the next time, and then we'll be like, yeah, this was sitting right there.
So let's talk videos.
Yes, let's talk about videos. I have a video that comes out every other day. Me and Saba Jade are working overtime this month, I think. I'm wrapping up my second season of my 7 Days to Die Very Vanilla series, the second scoop. So I stepped up my, I don't know what you call it, the release of my videos so that I would be done by around the beginning of October. So I'm putting out a video every other day until the finale comes out on the 3rd of October. Please watch it. It is so good. And the one that is going to be out by the time I put this show out is quite a surprise. Mythery and I get on top of a barn, and we decide that we're going to let the zombies knock it down for us. And whatever you think is going to happen, you're wrong. That's all I'm going to say. All right, tell me about Quest Today.
So I've been doing a quest today in DDO, and episode 25 came out yesterday, which was the 25th.
Nice.
And I have a couple comments, like Brie-type Beerloaf said it brings back memories, and it makes me want to play DDO again.
Of course it does, because everybody looks at that and they think, oh, I can play like this. I can be this good. You can't. I'm here to tell you right now that you cannot be this good. Only Saba Jade.
No. Barry Merritt says he's really enjoying the video series. Thanks for doing it, and I hope you keep on the Borderland next. And I have to say, Barry, I recorded these in advance because I was moving. Plus, it's easier to record in advance. A whole slew of them and then put them out and schedule them. So I had already done the hard request by the time I saw your comment. But doing the Borderlands now, so you should see those coming up the first weekend in October. And then...
Oh, that's...
So you're going to do not heroic, keep on the Borderlands. You're not... I figured you'd save it for Epic or whatever.
Since he hasn't seen them, I decided to do them so he can see them now rather than later. Because later would be way, way down.
Yeah, way later.
Yep. And then in Recovering the Lost Home, which is episode 14, Drew Rankin asks, what does your pious companion think about stealing books? Because in that one, you go and you take a book. When the guy has his back turned.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Marduk, who is
he's a favorite soul.
A favorite soul,
yeah, he's a favorite soul.
And he doesn't really say much. He just goes along and does whatever I ask him to do. He really doesn't heal very often. I mean,
he just follows you around and has a giant mustache like Tom Selleck style.
Right. So I wrote back and said, he just goes along, does what I want him to do. And I said, now Les, on the other hand, nah, she would have been all for it.
I would have been like, yeah, let's steal this book. This guy's probably done something bad in his life. He needs to atone for. Yep. I would have justified it somehow.
So thank you for everybody who's been watching my videos and making comments. Make more comments.
Yay, yes. Saba Jade pays attention to each and every one of them.
I do.
All right, let's move into what we learned. I realized that what I'm calling video game breadcrumbs, they tell us the story behind the story of a game. For example, when you play an older game and you see a game engine that you think is really, really familiar, and you think, wow, it's like walking through a museum and looking at cavemen, but like for Dungeons and Dragons. Like Dungeons and Dragons Online. That's how I felt whenever we played Neverwinter. We tried the Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition or whatever. I really felt a callback, like it was some sort of weird, that there was a connection there to Dungeons and Dragons Online. It felt similar to me. There you go. Myth, what did you learn?
I learned that we need an exclamation mark.
What does that even mean? Where does this...
Somebody said that the Damsels game needs an exclamation mark because it sounds like the Damsels game is a game. The Damsels game. Instead of the Damsels game.
Let's eat,
we should put
Grandma.
an exclamation...
The Damsels, game.
So they said we need an exclamation mark at the end so it doesn't sound like the Damsels game. It sounds like the Damsels game.
I kind of... What if we want it to be the Damsels game? Like, everybody would want to play as Mithery. Nobody would want to play as me. Or they'd want to be the sneaky rogue. Nobody would want to be the paladin. I would get mad. And it would be the Damsels game. There's an exclamation point for you. All right, Saba, what did you learn?
The chair matters.
What does that mean? Why are you people speaking in riddles? I don't understand.
Myth knows what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Oh,
dying here.
Myth. I am in my comfy chair.
It's all about the chair.
It is.
All about the chair. She's been sitting in, what's her name's chair for 2 weeks.
My mother's chair.
No, I meant Gomez's wife.
Morticia Adams.
The Morticia Adams chair.
Yes,
apparently it's not all it's cracked up to be.
It is not all it's cracked up to be. We are getting rid of that chair.
All right. So you got your new chair and you're happy. I'm glad.
I have my old gaming comfy chair. Yes, I am happy. All right, we're going to go into news. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Lessa and Rent were on TDO Players News talking about the Gen Con. So
yes.
Gen Con and it was interesting as always when you guys are on that. My only thing was, why did Drat go?
Why did Drat go in the first place?
Correct.
I honestly don't know. But I honestly could not tell you why.
I mean, 35,000 people were there, and there
GermCon.
GermCon, yes. So they said 90% of the people were vaccinated.
That's good.
Which means 10% were not.
So?
Now, Drac did say that he saw very few people that did not have their masks on, and the people in charge, when they saw people that didn't have them on, were spot on and taking them out, or telling them put your mask on, and if they didn't comply, made them get out. So they were
Oh,
really, they were really good about it. Yeah.
So Drac is probably not going to die, is what I'm hearing?
Probably correct.
Okay, well, I'll cancel the coffin and the eulogy and all the...
Yep.
And
Oh, he probably still wants a coffin.
He probably has a coffin.
he probably already has one at his house.
Correct. Yep, he
I
probably
mean, what is
does.
it? That's how he sleeps.
Yep. So it wasn't as much info as you guys usually do about...
I thought it was a really good show, actually.
It was a really good show, but you guys usually give more...
Yeah, we usually
info
give
about-
more insight into Gen Con, and this time it was
proper
more
info.
surreal.
It was it was kind of funny because Drac at the beginning said, this is not going to be a DDO-oriented show.
And then we kept
and you guys
talking
kept
about DDO.
circling back to DDO. You
We
did.
kept circling back.
You did.
Just couldn't
It was
stop.
still a really good episode. I put a link in the show note. And then also, DDO Players News hit 300 episodes.
Yay, congratulations, guys.
It was really good for you guys. And I didn't realize they started about 2 months before we started.
Yeah, but we have always done a show every other week, and they've been doing it every week, so it didn't take them long to lap us.
Well, we're on par. We're at 100 and
Yeah.
what did you say?
154. This is our 154th
154,
show.
and they're at 300. We're on par. We're good. All right,
We
so
can
we're
take
going to...
vacations.
So, Mag News for this time, there are a couple things we're going to talk about. First, from PC Gamer in November. The November issue. Now, this first thing we're going to talk about is really weird. This is a story about War Thunder. It's a vehicular combat multiplayer game developed and published by Gaijin Entertainment. First released in open beta in November 2012. Official release date in December 2017. Some fan says one of the tanks in the game is inaccurate. Some pin placement or something in the front of the tank is just a little off. And he posted some classified military documents to prove it. He is
What?
he is a tank squadron commander supposedly, and he was going back and forth or something like that, and he posted these documents.
To win an argument,
Yes.
he released some classified material because that's normal.
Yep. So some of the material in these documents was redacted, but there were markings on the documents. So Gaijin notified the UK Ministry of Defence, because this is the squadron is over in the UK, which said, and the Ministry of Defence said the document was classified, but wouldn't say anything else. So the company said they only use unclassified sources, so they, of course, got rid of the documents for its game. And the poster can get up to 14 years in prison for violating the Official Secrets Act.
Oh, no.
If they find and prosecute the guy.
Oh, my
the Ministry of
gosh.
Defense. Yeah. So why would you do that? I mean, it's a game. I mean,
Some people gotta win the argument.
it's not just winning an argument. He's just so focused on making it so true to life. Why does it have to be that true to life for a game?
It doesn't.
I mean, that's just nuts.
It is nuts. People
All right.
forget these are games.
It's a game, exactly. All right, so we're going to make this good news now. A stainless steel footbridge weighing 4.9 tons across a canal in Amsterdam was made using 3D printers.
That's crazy.
I think that's awesome.
Kind of cool.
Really cool. A real footbridge. Who would have thought 10 years ago that they could do that?
No.
Yeah. All right. Now, you remember that Valve Steam Deck I talked about a couple episodes ago? The handheld device.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
You're going to be able to play your Steam games on this handheld device. Well, they're giving more and more information out. It's not out yet still. It's going to have a battery life of 2 to 8 hours.
So, how much is it? It's like $200.
$399.
Okay, it was $400 basically.
Yeah.
For $400, you
Now, depending
can
on the game, 2
unplug
to 8
and
hours.
play this
For 2
game
hours.
for 2 hours before you have to put your device down.
Right. Now, think about some of the games that we play are...
Quite large games, and we play them for a long time.
Right. So, the smallest hard drive space is 64 gigabytes. Some of our games are larger than that. Like Ark, you're not going to be able to play unless you get the
There's no way.
The higher end version, so you're not paying $399 for that one. So I'm not into this. There's no way I would get it. I mean, Handheld device, no. I just don't get it. All right. In the highs and lows section, thanks to South Korea's shutdown law, Minecraft has been given an adults-only rating, and South Koreans need to be 19 to buy it on the PC.
So what exactly is the shutdown law?
Oh, that came out years ago, where kids were only allowed to play games for so long, and there was a certain age of kids. And they have since rescinded that law. But this one, where you can have to be 19 or older to buy Minecraft, is in effect. Now, this is only for PC downloaders. If you have a handheld or a console, you can still buy Minecraft.
But I don't understand what it is about Minecraft that makes it in that.
Don't know. Really odd, huh? All right, now this next one, Lessa read about.
Oh, yes.
Massively OP ranked the Guild Wars 2 professions from best to worst. Now, this isn't based on playability, damage, or meta popularity. This is based on originality and general design concepts. And guess what the number one...
It's me, baby. It's me. It's the Mesmer.
And this is why Lessa wanted it in the show.
No, that's not true. I saw the article before I saw that I was number one. Come on, man.
Well, I don't mind, because guess what's number 2?
It's you.
It's me here. It's me here.
As soon as I saw the list, I was like, oh my god, Minter is going to be so upset.
I don't care.
Nah. It's an interesting article, and they say why the Mesmer is...
I have a Mesmer.
I know you
It's
do.
my number 2 character.
Right. So I put a link to why they rank these the way they do. So if you're interested, check out the link. And then in Game Informer, according to the reader section, readers want more PC games on console. Now, my thought is the only reason
What?
they want this is because they don't have a PC. What do you think?
What?
That's
What?
a good guess. I wouldn't know, but that sounds like a good guess.
No. Who said? Who's in this
Yeah,
poll? 12-year-old boys?
right.
No.
14-year-old boys.
Freaking done. All right. The fastest growing gaming demographic is us right here. Bam. Me, you, and Mithery.
All right. Now we're going to talk about games that we have played.
Oh.
The first one is Far
The first
Cry.
one is a good one.
And the reason we're going to talk about Far Cry is because I was on this site out of the UK called metro.co.uk, and I put a link. I did not put a link. I will put a link in the show notes. It's a reader comment. Far Cry has the worst game ending ever.
What?
So before I
True.
read it,
Okay.
Far Cry, tell me what you think of the ending of Far Cry 5.
First of all, I think we should put out that if you've not played Far Cry 5 and you don't want the ending spoiled, maybe you should skip this part of the show. Just
Yes.
a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to talk about it.
So go ahead. What do you think of the ending of Far Cry 5?
I think it's brilliant. I
Yeah, I
liked
liked
it.
it too.
I liked it. It was different. It did not end the way I thought it was going to. It didn't end with sunshine and roses. I felt like I kind of won, but I also really lost. You end up in a bunker with a bad guy, and everything has gone to hell in a handbasket outside. I mean, it's practically, you know there's going to be a nuclear winter.
Well,
It's-
they're setting up their next game.
Yeah, they're setting up the next game, but it's not a Hollywood ending. And I liked that. I liked that things didn't turn out the way that you would expect the end of a game to. I was happy about the ending. I thought it was very exciting, but sometimes you just want that explosion of joy. And
Yeah.
this was kind of lacking that explosion of joy, but that was okay because it was still a great emotional ending. I connected so strongly with Far Cry 5. I don't want to speak for Mithery, but here I'm going to do it anyway. She did too.
Yes,
Because
I did.
there was just no better feeling than running around and shooting some redneck cultists in the face, baby.
Oh my
And
God, that
I
was the
connected
best
so
time.
strongly with it because this was home turf. This is U.S. soil that all this craziness was taking place on. And I felt connected to it. So I loved it. And in the end, it was like, hey man, I didn't really win, you didn't really win, screw you, nobody wins. It was great. I thought it was great. I don't know, what did you think, Myth?
I'm agreeing totally with you. I thought it was great.
I
too.
loved it. I loved it, and I enjoyed every moment that we spent in Far Cry 5, including the ending.
Okay. You ready to hear the flip side?
Oh God, yes, please tell me.
Okay. So this person said, so I played Far Cry 5 and was loving it. The setting was great. I'm a real sucker for the American wilderness and small towns, having been lucky enough to undertake a few road trips out there. The missions ranging from pure comedy to slightly creepy to just plain mad. Befriending a bear, the crazy stunt missions, I was thoroughly enjoying the whole shebang. No, it is. Oh, looking at my history, I spent 70 hours in that world. So that's just great, isn't it? No, it isn't. When the game was finished, I was not happy. The ending was, in my opinion, just awful. So bad it destroyed everything I enjoyed about the game and put me off the Far Cry franchise. Effectively 70 hours ruined by such a depressing ending. Now, I know there are times that a shock ending or a downbeat ending can work. The difference is twofold. Time invested. Films only last a couple hours. I've watched the odd film where the ending really ruined the film, but you know what? I hadn't invested nearly 3 whole days of my life in them. So no great shakes.
Oh no, he played for 3 days?
So he played 70 hours.
He must not have done any of the
Misery.
side stuff.
No.
Pull up your Steam real quick while she's talking, please.
Yeah, he played 70 hours. 70.
Okay.
Okay, agency, or lack thereof. In a film, you have no control over the characters. In a game, even if that agency is false, and it usually is because the outcome is still often predetermined, you feel in control of the character. You feel like your actions should make a difference. In hindsight, Far Cry 5 failed because it really gave me no choice other than a bad ending. If the developers have built in multiple endings due to choices you make, like Witcher, even at a more basic level like Bioshock, of which good outcomes were available, I would have accepted it. To give no choice other than bad endings really stuck in my craw. After 70 hours, everything I did made no difference. I didn't help the characters I befriended. Indeed, I got every single one killed. I made life in Hope County worse by my intervention, not better. If the game had a more dystopian feel, maybe it wouldn't have angered me so much. Playing games for about 40 years, and I have never been so dissatisfied by a game. Even Half-Life not having an ending doesn't wind me up like Far Cry 5. So,
Well, everyone is entitled to their opinion. That's the beauty of it all, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Even when you're
doing
wrong.
out.
I'm just don't listen. Don't ruin this. We're talking about Far Cry here.
I just saw that villager jump right over the gate and leave.
I close it. Just don't worry about it. Look, don't worry about it.
I
You're
am
not
worried
supposed.
about it.
I've gotten
All
on
right.
to you in the past about talking about the.
I can't
stream.
help it.
So how many
Just gonna go
hours
back
you
now.
guys played compared to 70 hours this guy played?
All right, so hopefully Mithery's looked up her game time while she was sitting here taking me to task for letting this stupid farmer out. Get back in there, you piece of shit. Get in there.
But she didn't, Myth.
There we go. He's back.
I played 101.
Okay, so
So-
I'm probably right there with you.
Okay. So everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. So I guess not
We
everybody.
did
liked
every
it.
side mission we could find.
did
and
everything we could do, and there wasn't anything that we didn't enjoy. Favorite missions? I really
perfect.
liked working with that crazy guy who went to the aliens.
Oh my God, yeah.
That guy, I can't remember his name, but he gives you this really cool gun in exchange for helping him. And then there's another mission, the Testicle Festival, which
Yeah, I
is
know you guys
on
like that
the
one.
Damsels YouTube channel. Please watch it. It
Wake up
is
in the mud with the
amazing.
pig.
It is an amazing ride. It's hard
Well,
for me to
everybody
watch that
knows
video
what
now.
happens at the end of Far Cry 5, right? I mean,
It's
there's
about
no
the
way
journey.
you can save people.
It's about the journey. And at one
It
point,
is.
me and Myth, well, mostly me, I was like, should we really be taking every dime out of Hope County, out of every prepper stash? And the answer is
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Take every dime with impunity because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Take it all.
So the next thing we're going to talk about in Let's Talk is
Mm-hmm.
Neverwinter Nights. We all love this game. the original, because this was Neverwinter Nights, the revamped version.
Yes.
And we had these romantic
notions that it was. In hindsight, it was like, gosh, wasn't that a great game? Wasn't that so much fun back in the day?
So we like the whole D&D build your character thing, and we like getting our quests and all that kind of stuff, but moving around is just unbearable.
Yes. Oh. It's arduous.
That is the right word, yes. If they could fix the moving around, I think that game would be great.
Yeah, if they could
No, they're not going to.
Fix mouse locomotion. Character movement is... It's bad.
It's bad,
it's
yeah.
bad. It makes the game honestly, it makes the game unplayable.
Yeah.
Everything else about the game is still enjoyable.
Yep, I'm taking the game off my Steam.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's gone. What I think you gave it to me. I think it cost you $5 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fine.
It was worth it for us to play.
It was worth it.
And find out that we don't want to play it again.
Yep, that's it. That's exactly right.
It's worth it.
That's exactly right.
All right, so we're going to segue into the other Neverwinter.
Oh, God.
Which we gave it even more of a fair shot.
I'm not going to pull my notes up for this one because I have a lot. And
they put those two games together. They could make a decent game out of it.
The movement is so much better in Neverwinter.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So I was talking to my family about this because my family have played D&D, not ever online or on the computer, but, us sitting down playing D&D. So I was telling them that we have no control over character progression, and they're like, what are you talking about? I said, well, you make your character, and the only thing you do is put ability scores in. And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. I said, well, you never do feats. I made my character, and I could say, yeah, she gets blonde hair. And they're like, what are you talking about? They could not fathom that you have no control over your character. So you get to say what class you are. You get to say what race you are.
That's
and
the end.
All the way up. Yeah. At level 3, we got to put 2 points into ability scores, and that was it.
Yeah.
That is not Dungeons and Dragons.
It is okay. I will agree with you that the graphics look great. The gameplay learning curve is not steep. It was very easy. So that was a plus for me. And there are voice actors reading the dialogue. That's pretty cool. You get mounts. You get a mount. You get to ride something from the first minute. That was pretty cool. That was very cool. The combat is a lot different than I'm used to. I will totally admit that. And the best thing I can say about it is that the combat isn't unfun. It isn't totally unfun. Right. If that makes any sense at all.
Well, it's annoying because you can't move.
Exactly. That leads me to combat could not be further for me from D&D. I hated it. It wasn't that I couldn't get used to the whole stand your ground thing. You actually get a flanking bonus, but good luck actually flanking because you stop your attack animation, and then you have to move, and then you resume your attack, and by that time, you've kissed the fight goodbye. You've missed most of it. And I felt totally disconnected from the character because I have almost no control over leveling. It's like, okay, I leveled. What do I get? Well, the UI is set with standard stuff that I don't get to vote on. I didn't get to vote on what kind of shield I was carrying. I did not get to vote on a sword versus a mace. Why don't I get to carry a sword? I'm a paladin. They call it sword and board. You're giving me a mace like I'm a friggin' cleric? No. How about no? If I wanted to be a battle cleric, I would have rolled a battle cleric. So that kind of made me mad. And as we're going through these quests, I see the rewards, and the reward is like, okay, you get this better mace. No, hooker, I want a sword. Give me a sword. Why can't I have a sword? Anyway, let me move on from that because I'm a little bit salty. In Guild Wars 2, you level automatically the same way, but you get to spend points. You have these ability trees. You choose those abilities. You make the build more to your taste, and your abilities change whenever you change whatever weapon it is that's in your hand. And Neverwinter felt so cookie cutter to me that I just stopped caring. I was like, whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Why should I care? They're just going to foist whatever they think I should be doing on me. I have no choices. The other thing I have is, why can't I fast travel out of an area when an adventure is over? That was really stupid. We have to ride all the way back to the quest giver. The quest is over. All we're doing is riding back through the same mobs that we've already proven we can kill on the way out here. That was a small thing, though. That I can dismiss. But this I cannot. Okay, so I'm a tank. Why can't I have a sword? Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. That's the last time I'm going to mention that, right? I didn't even see a sword for sale, right?
They don't want you drooling on their sword.
They don't want me to. It's like, no, you do not. You're not allowed to touch this sword. Even as much as I love Dritstorden playing this game for, what is it, 75 levels or whatever it is to get to him, it's just not worth it. I'm sorry, dude. You're just going to have to stay in my dreams. Sorry. Get back in the spank bag, Drits. What? Let's keep going. I've spoken my piece about Neverwinter, and I never want to play it again. I'm sure there are people out there who love it. I don't. Everything I seem to read about it, it wasn't overtly negative. So, well, it's got a base.
There are some people who like it. Some people love it.
Here's what I don't understand. It's not, to me, the feel of it's just not Dungeons and Dragons. Even though it's based in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. Why are Wizards of the Coast in bed with these guys?
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
Main question.
I don't understand it. A game like, say, I'm going to mention Dungeons and Dragons Online, is head and shoulders better.
I think so too.
Yes, there's a learning curve, but you have so much finite control. It's just better. If you're going to pick a horse to back, that's the one. Anyway, I'm done. Now I'm depressed. I'm mourning the loss of my sword in a game that I'm no longer playing.
I made a couple notes that you guys ranted about when we were talking about this earlier, and you said that you both said you weren't thinking about this game when not playing a game.
Yeah.
The game, and while playing the game, you were thinking about Remnant instead of.
Yeah, I was like, man, we could be in Remnant right now.
Yep.
Yep.
True.
And then you both also said when we were playing Remnant, you knew immediately that you loved that game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Before we were even over with the first session, I was like, I like this game. This game is awesome.
And the same with Grounded. You knew immediately that you liked Grounded.
Yep.
And then with DDO, day one, Leslie said Euphonia's Challenge, you were hooked.
Yeah.
Myth, you said walking into the first dungeon, you were hooked.
Yep.
And I was hooked making my character. So you know whether you like a game or not. Sometimes it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
But we gave this game a really good shot.
We gave it a shot.
Nights, we gave it a shot.
Yeah.
This one we gave it even a longer shot.
Yeah.
And we were level 5. And no.
Yeah, we were.
No, it's just not for us.
I will never go back. Sorry.
Tried.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of that, I made a list of games I think we should give a go.
Oh, sweet. What are they?
All right. The first one is Wildermyth. It's an RPG adventure game. Now, the graphics aren't what we're used to, but your characters kind of age. They kind of feel their pain, all this other kind of stuff. So read up on it, see what you think.
Okay.
The next one is Halo, the Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
Halo Infinite.
Let me stop you right there. You had me at Halo. I'm ready to play this game.
Okay.
I want to play this. I'm going to add it to my wish list, and hopefully my family is ridiculous enough to buy it for me for Christmas.
What is it? Oh, Halo?
Halo, yeah.
Halo,
And-
the
Yeah,
Master Chief Collection? I was going to say Master Chef. The Master Chef Collection.
So.
And then the next one is Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. That's dwarves, right?
Yeah, it's first-person shooter with mining dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Steam, and it gets really good reviews, and you're a mining dwarf. Some industry sends you onto this area to mine, and they don't care whether you live or die. They just want production. And aliens,
They
they're
don't care if
aliens.
you live or die. It sounds like Satisfactory. I mean, what?
No, it's... And then there's Path of Exile or Path of Exile 2. It's free to play. They're both free to play, and it's a role-playing game. And you're going to think I'm Crazy on the next one. World of Warcraft, free to level 20.
What?
Yeah, you're nuts.
Yes, I'm ready to try WoW. I tried it once
Yep.
years ago. Years and years ago.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never tried it.
I've tried it once. I'm ready to
I have
try it
never-
again. How bad can it be?
I think that should be our first one to try because it is free to play to level 20.
If Fowler Robert says STO, what is that? Play that?
Star Trek Online.
Oh, Star Trek Online. Wait a
I've
minute.
played that.
I think one of us has already played that.
Yeah.
How is it?
Randy's got
Commander.
a lifetime membership.
Mm.
And then Destiny 2 is also free to play. And then Skyrim.
Yes. We can play Skyrim together?
Yeah, I think you can.
Really?
You
Oh
can.
my god, I'm gonna kill a chicken, the first chicken I see, and the whole village is gonna come after us. It's gonna be great.
So I think you guys should take a look at all these games and rank them what order. I would like to try WoW first because I've never done it.
Yes, I agree. I love
But-
this idea.
But rank all the others in what order. And I think we should try one game per episode. In between episodes. not
Yeah, I was gonna
before
say maybe one a month.
Yeah,
Some
that
of
would
this
be
stuff
fine.
is free.
And then we'll put it in our Let's Talk list. And I'm not saying play it for, after the show.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying between the shows. And we'll do it in our Let's Talk section about the games.
I like it.
All right. So, on to what's in gaming news this time. Guild Wars 2 has a nice write-up about getting into Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is an open-world game, and it's meant to be explored, and it tells you about how to get into it. So, after you choose your character, what race, and all that kind of stuff. And it just tells you really easily how to go out, like looking for a scout NPC, getting quests, all that kind of stuff. So I put a link in the show notes about how to get into Guild Wars 2 if
Cool.
you haven't done it already. Lotro has a free quest coupon. Lotro Quest with an S 2021 to get quests, mission, and regions through November 30th. And because they're getting ready for their next expansion. And I've already done it. I have all the quests up to date now. Medieval Dynasty is out of early access and is on sale, so they're celebrating. And also the producers of that game are the publisher is getting ready to put out a Wild West Dynasty in 2022.
Oh, cool.
I think that sounds pretty cool too. I still think just because you have a dynasty doesn't mean you can't have multiplayer.
I could have my dynasty, you could have your dynasty.
And you can have marriages between dynasties.
I would be
All right.
going over to Myth Dynasty all the time. I would be like,
There you
girl,
go.
let me in here.
All right.
Open the door.
Phasmophobia, for those that like that. The ghosts are now smarter in the newest update.
It's not that I'm not unwilling to play Phasmophobia. It's that it scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah, but we should
I
do
was
it again.
we should do it again, but I was terrified.
Yeah. All right,
Wait.
and then Scrap Mechanic. Oh, go ahead, Myth.
I was just looking at because I have it, Skyrim, and
Okay.
it is single player. It must be a different Elder Scrolls that's multiplayer.
Elder Scrolls Online?
Well, that makes sense.
So, Scrap Mechanics. They're going to have underground digging and exploration. But if I read the dev blog correctly, it's only at the new location. But I think it's cool that they're going to have digging and an underground area, yeah. And for those that play Valheim, the new mod lets you put tamed wolves to work. I don't know what that means because I don't play Valheim.
Unfortunate that it's not something more intriguing. Sorry.
All right. The question of the show. So in the Game Informer for this month, every month they ask the readers a question. So last month they asked if a game has taken over your life and become an obsession. So we're going to start with that, and then I'm going to go on to other stuff. So has a game taken over your life and become an obsession? And I'm sure many games have done that for you guys.
Yeah,
so right
absolutely.
now, is there a current game that is an obsession for you guys?
Let's define the parameters of obsession because it might not actually qualify.
You can't do anything else but think about this game.
Can you have more than one obsession is my next question. Because depending on what I'm doing, like if we have something to do, like if Mythery and I decide on a project or whatever, for example in Minecraft we decided on a project, and until that project is completed, that game becomes the obsession. And we've done that with a whole bunch of different games, including 7 Days to Die and other stuff. Oh, Ark. We've done it in Ark several times, as a matter of fact.
Depends on where the project is.
So if you're at work,
Mm-hmm.
are you thinking about the game instead of what you're supposed to be doing at work?
If I say yes, it's going to make you think that I'm a bad person because I work at a children's hospital.
Yeah, but half the time they're asleep. So.
Half the time they're sleeping, so it's fine. If that's the case, then I'm obsessed with Mass Effect 2 right now.
So it says taking over your life and becoming it. So let's just look up the word obsession here.
Okay. Well, what about you, Miss? Do you think you're obsessed with any of the games that you're playing right now?
No.
So it says an idea or thought that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind.
Just like spins around in the back of my head.
Yes.
Well, like for a while, I was spent a lot of time thinking about Minecraft when we were doing them all.
Mm-hmm. Because
But
she was
before
planning.
that, yeah, before that, I did think about Remnant a lot. Then when we were building the house in 7 Days to Die, I spent a lot of time thinking about that. But then we started doing them all, which took my attention away from that. Plus, we got done with the house. It just depends on where the project is, I think. It's not really the game.
So I know sometimes I get obsessed.
And Ark is really bad about it, though.
Yeah, Ark is bad. But what do you get obsessed with, Saba? I need to know.
You know, like builds in DDO, where I, do a lot of research on what I want to do with my builds.
Okay. And then you want to see that come to fruition.
Yes. And I'll be thinking about it, like on my drives to work when I was in LA, which you shouldn't do that while you're driving.
No,
but...
you really shouldn't. That's bad.
Well, in LA, it's okay because, it's really slow driving.
Yeah.
So there was one of the responses was really good. So I'm going to read it. My wife and I play World of Warcraft almost every night. We sit next to each other and talk each other's ear off as we slay bosses and level up. We both work, socialize a bunch, but just play this one game when other couples watch TV. Our obsession is no different. So the reason I read this one out is because it makes an excellent point. How many times do gamers get called out for gaming long hours, but it's okay for people to watch TV for the same amount of hours?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or binge watch Netflix
That's true.
or whatever.
Yep.
Gamers get a bad rep.
Yep.
And they don't call that obsessive behavior, but gamers are.
No,
obsessed.
they're just relaxing in front of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So is it really an obsession?
I don't think it
I don't
counts
think
as an
so.
obsession. If it's not something I'm doing every day.
Well, it's not ruining your life or anything.
Yeah.
When I'm doing research, trying to figure out what my best build is, I just consider it research, not really obsessive behavior. I'm just going things over in my mind, Now you're both are judging me saying, yeah, that's really
we're not.
Well,
No,
actually,
it's
I was
not.
just thinking that I was going over things in my mind about where I wanted to put the snack bar and the mall,
Right.
and where I wanted to put what I wanted to name the banner shop. And
Aw,
Things like
that's
that.
so cute. That's so cute. I think it's
All right.
safe to say that we're not obsessed. So let's move into something we are obsessed with. Tell me about RuPaul's Drag Race. Let's go into before we start, Miss.
Okay, well, mostly since you aren't watching it with me, there's not a lot of chitty-chatty
Yeah, I don't get cable anymore.
stuff to
so I
talk
can't.
about. I will say that Ginger Minge was on this one, and I thought that was fun to watch. But the winner was somebody I didn't recognize at all, even though I was really glad this person won. I thought they deserved it. RuPaul's Drag Race has moved again and is on Paramount Plus.
I know, that show just gets passed around like the talking stick in a kindergarten classroom, doesn't it?
Right. So there you go. I'm watching Paramount Plus now.
Yeah, now you have
Yeah.
to follow RuPaul's Drag Race all the way to
I
Paramount
know.
Plus. I literally cannot. Well, I'm still enjoying Future Man, and it has gotten a lot. You were right.
Oh, good.
I stuck with it, and it got a lot better.
See?
The characterization is starting to come out, and not just wolf, but also tiger. And
Right.
Futterman, I don't remember. Josh. Well, I don't remember. I think his first name's Josh. Is it? What's his?
I think you're
the main
right.
character. I think it might be Josh.
Yeah, the main character is really not the main character.
Yeah, the main character is really not the main character. He's sort of understated, but he's getting a lot better. He's growing. I guess he's leveling up,
Yeah.
And the other characters are too, but the standout for me is still Wolf. Like,
The way that show started, like it was just a bunch of dumbass.
yeah, it was just a bunch of
or-
puns all strung together.
Yeah. And now there's actual story to it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I had actually forgotten, because they went to the 80s in this last episode that I watched, and I had forgotten that Corey Hart ever existed or made music until I heard Never Surrender playing in the background. And I was like, oh my god, and I still knew every word. It's like, Wolf literally belongs there.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. He loves 80s.
It was so good. If you have Hulu, give Future Man a shot. And stick with it, because it's really good.
Yeah.
Stick things in your rat hole while you're watching it. All right, tell me about Minecraft. I want to hear the whole story.
So we built a mall called the Skyback Mall, and it's open and ready to supply all of your shopping needs. It has 3 color-coded buildings connected by a lovely glass enclosed walkway. The main building is located directly over the fishing hole. It hosts Fred and Frodo's fabulous fresh fish, and is the hub for the pink, purple, and magenta wings. The pink wing is the home of Martell's marvelous maps, Bob's beautiful banners, Patrick's potent potions, and Barry and Biff's big little bookstore. The purple wing contains Alex and Wick's wonderful armor and weapons, Paul's perfect produce market, and Felix Fletcher's accurate arrows, and meaty meats by Max. Finally, Magenta Wing boasts the delicious food court, as well as Manuel's marvelous masonry, Tony's terrific tools, and Wolf and Arthur's awesome weapons and armor. Say all of that fast.
And
Well, what?
I was going to say, and Mythery worked really hard coming up with names for every single shop, and every single villager has a name. So good job.
Oh my god, they do, don't they?
She was responsible for all of that.
So while I was finishing off all this mall decor, Lessa went looking for a jungle. And we wanted the jungle really badly. I mean, really.
Yes.
She searched high. She searched low.
Mhm.
She searched far. She
Yes.
searched wide.
Yes.
She searched 8,000 blocks away. And what she found was a flower forest.
Mm-hmm.
And we really, really wanted the jungle very, 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 very much. But we also like flower forest a lot.
I love flowers.
Plus, it was a really long ways away from our base. And although we had already put up 2 nether portals, we needed another portal because we hadn't found a fortress yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was a girl to do, I ask you? Well, I will tell you.
Put up another.
There was only one thing to do. The only logical thing she could do. She made a portal.
Yay!
Yay! And to add to our bastion find, Lessa found a fortress.
Yay!
So we set out forging a road, or a path as you might call it, to from our new portal / safe house, the 3rd one, in the flower fortress. Flower to the fortress. Flower forest.
Flower
To the
Fortress
fortress.
sounds cool too, though.
Blah. Okay, this has to be the longest road we've ever built in Minecraft.
Yes, it is.
Definitely the longest
So
one.
you-
It's very
in
long.
Nether.
You build a road from the fortress
From the
in the nether.
From the safe house to the fortress, and we have a safe house
Yeah.
at each location.
Wow.
right. So we've pretty much taken the danger out of traveling to the fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, we can't remove all of the danger, but this path has walls on both sides and proper stairs for your up and down needs. Many torches to chase away the darkness. Building is, however, very dangerous.
Yes.
So much lava over and under and next to. That was the easy part. The worst part was dealing with the guests. And even though they don't always drop a tear, I think we managed to come home with about 9.
It's pretty good.
It's a lot of them. There's still some fine touches I want to do to the road / path, but it is definitely done as far as being able to travel from portal to fortress, or safe house to safe house, because there's one at each end. And just in case anybody's worried, Pine Leaf has found a very small jungle that is 10,000 blocks away from that.
Yeah, so I just stopped. I quit at 8,000, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept going.
He brought back some samples of trees and bamboo so we can grow our own little jungle. The following videos that are in the show notes ponder some ethical questions about the treatment of the villagers. If you're interested in finding out about abductions, terrorization, and subjugation, these videos are a must-see for you.
You're really selling it right now.
Okay, so I've watched a video or two, and you don't have to ponder any of these ethical questions.
There's nothing to ponder.
No, abductions, there's nothing to ponder. Terrorization, there's nothing to ponder. Subjugation, there is nothing to ponder.
Okay. So that means that's all bad then, or?
Obviously, at the Children's Hospital, there is no class on ethics.
There's no class on ethics. Nah. That's right. That's right. Hey, you know, we arguably made their lives more interesting.
That's not arguable.
That's not.
Again, we'll go back to the ethical question.
All right. It takes a village. It takes a villager, and it takes a villager. Part 2, Judgment Day, and Damsels and DDO Players episode 4 explores all of this. Please watch them. They're very, very good. Very good. It is linked in the show notes. Yeah.
So, I think it's funny that Myth hasn't said a word yet.
I know, right? What, in the video? She was just so quiet. She was like, you could tell her she was taking it all in. She was like, okay. She circled around the contraption many times, and she's like, And then finally she's like, this just seems wrong. And if Mythery is saying something seems wrong, it's probably really wrong.
There is no seams about it. Right?
Yeah. So we're gonna have to get ourselves into the mine and get our own supplies. Fine.
But don't you find it interesting that Pine Leaf is okay with it?
I know. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought he was. I didn't think he was so savage.
I know.
You know.
So he's not.
Who would have thought?
He's not the goody-goody that I thought he was.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's not entirely Sabajade.
No, guess not.
He's not the ethical rogue. He just had no idea. He just sees it as free labor. Or, scaring the crap out of villagers so that they will poop out iron golems over and over again.
I can't believe
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it either. I was like, wow.
Which we're going to try before the next episode.
We should.
It's all like, want to get some iron? Well, let's just scare the hell out of these villagers
this is how you get iron right here. He said, somebody said we needed more iron, and I'm here to deliver. All right, speaking of that, let's talk about our 2
Oh,
weeks.
and by the way, there's also a gold mine we can make. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
who the hell
I
are
didn't
you
know
gonna
that.
scare to do that.
I know.
And he just goes, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, I think he knows too much at this point.
Yep.
Jeez.
The Minecraft guru, right?
He is the Minecraft guru. You need to let him take you into Lotro, because he knows a lot about Lotro.
Well, he's more of a Lotro player than a TDO
Exactly,
player, right?
and I don't play Lotro. I don't think.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't think Mythery really does.
I don't play it either, but
you said you downloaded it and you got the free stuff.
It's free.
Yeah, but just because it's free, if you're not going to play it, why even bother? You should play Lotro with him.
20 years from now, when I'm 150, I might say...
You're 150. You might try Lotro again 20 years from now.
Yeah.
I don't think that coupon's going to expire before then, Saba.
No, I think you should. The coupon. So
all I'm saying is that Pine Leaf is a knowledge base, and you should maybe think about taking advantage of it.
No, I don't like the game that much right now. Play it. I have other games I want to try, like WoW, which we're going to do before the next time.
Which we're going to do. Fine. What if we get addicted? What if WoW gets its claws into us? What do we do?
We might become obsessed about WoW. We don't know.
Oh my gosh, we don't know how long will that last.
Yeah, exactly.
What have you even looked at their races? Have you thought about what you would want to do?
Well, I didn't know whether you guys would be interested, so I'm going to do that.
I want to be that cow thing. I mean, there's a cow, right? There's like a cow thing.
I don't know. I know nothing about WoW.
Is it going to be like Lotro? Like, if you pick a different race, are you going to start in a different area, or?
I don't know. So I know
That's
nothing
Guild Wars.
about WoW.
You know what I mean? Because me and Myth, the first time we played Guild Wars,
true.
I had picked a Mesmer, and she had actually picked something else, and she was in a totally different place than I was in.
All right, so next time you're not working, we should do this.
That'll be Wednesday. Actually, I can download it. Actually, I can download it and have it all ready.
Yeah,
before Wednesday. And we're gonna have to go in. We gotta start talking about our 2 weeks in gaming before Myth gets back.
We should. Yeah,
because
go.
In Minecraft, we have to have a play date with the DDO players because we are saving this fortress so that we can all go in together. I want Draculetta to see it and experience it. I want everybody to see the Pine Leaf Memorial Spillway that we built in the Nether along the road because it is so poorly constructed and it is so non-asymmetrical that it is going to kill Pine Leaf where he stands, and then hence the name Pine Leaf Memorial Spillway.
Got it.
I'm really looking forward to that. As soon as Draculetta says that he can play, that's when we're going in to do that.
All right, so talk about Mass Effect while she's away.
Oh my god, yes, because I have so much to say. So I finished Mass Effect 1. I finally, when I was on my little staycation, I finally did it. I had my finale with the big boss. It finally arrived, and it was such a great experience. And it was just this explosion of joy at the end. And it was this really great fight, and it's the villain that had been really building since the first scene in the first mission. So it was so fulfilling. I had gotten to know my crew and the other NPCs that are important in the game. And this this game is the Mass Effect movie that I've always wanted to see.
Oh, very cool.
And I loved it so much. But that is not what I really wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk to you about was the Paramour achievement that you can get in this game. So that is, you get 3 options for romance storylines that you can pursue with 3 different characters. There's a human male, there's a human female, and then there's an alien kind of gender neutral. I mean, she looks like a lady, but they're all ladies, I guess. The Saurians or whatever are all ladies. I pursued the romance option with the human male character because I wasn't interested in the other 2.
So what's your character?
I usually play the guy option, but this time I don't know. There's something about female shepherd that really appeals to me. I love her voice acting. I love the character, so I went with her, and I pursued the Paramour achievement with the human male Caden. And the first time I played through this game, I was just like sold on this guy. I was like, oh my god, I just love Caden. Caden is the best, blah, 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 blah. And I was so heartbroken going into the second game because all that gets taken away from you. But what I didn't realize in this second playthrough is that after you have your love scene or whatever, my shepherd, she's already out of bed and dressed and just like leaning casually against the counter. He's still into sheets, right? And what I didn't realize was that she had already checked out of the relationship before it was even started. I was like, I should have seen this before. I should have seen that before. So going into Mass Effect 2, you carry all those decisions forward. And the first thing I noticed that in my cabin, in my ship in Mass Effect 2, was that his photo was on my desk. Like, I'll circle back to that in a minute because I want to make this point to you that if Mass Effect 1 is cocaine, Mass Effect 2 is straight up heroin. Like, I literally cannot handle how much I am and am enjoying this game. This game is this is a game done exactly right. Like, they made some subtle changes to combat that I thought were improvements, and they made subtle changes to movement that I kind of had to get used to. That was no big deal. The thing I'm really enjoying is the interaction between the characters and how I get to manipulate the story. The opportunities to just punch people in the face, the opportunities that I was too chicken to take my first playthrough years and years and years ago. I'm taking those opportunities, baby. I'm Janeway, right? I will put a missile in your face. I don't even care. This is a 10 out of 10 amazing game. I love it. I cannot recommend it enough. Definitely you would have to play Mass Effect 1 first if you never considered any of these games. But with the Legendary Edition you get all three. You don't even have to worry about it. But playing Mass Effect 2 first it will ruin you. It would be like tasting a hot fudge sundae before you learn to eat vegetables as a baby. You know what I mean? So
is that a problem, eating hot fudge before eating?
Before eating your vegetables? No, I think you should eat your vegetables first, because I think the Mass Effect 2 storyline would make you want to go back and play Mass Effect 1 just to see what the heck fire happened. Because there's a lot. I freaking love this game.
The hot fudge will make you want to go.
Hot fudge. What if you mix the hot fudge and the vegetables together? That's normal, right?
A different analogy though, because I see no problem not ever eating vegetables.
Not ever eating the vegetables, just go straight for the hot fudge? No, there's nothing wrong with that. But I highly recommend the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, because you get all three games and they're all remastered. Especially the first one, they really did a lot of work on that one. And they're so good. Like, I'm right in the middle of Mass Effect 2 right now, and God, it's so good. Now I'm going to circle back around to my Paramore achievement with Caden. All right, so just today, right, in Mass Effect 2, I did the mission where I cross paths with my love interest from the previous game. And I went into this mission, I didn't want to do it, because I was like, oh my God, I have no control where this guy is concerned. Like, if he shows the slightest bit of interest in me and like he wanted to get back together with me, I'm not going to be able to resist that temptation. And then as soon as I met him and he opened his friggin' mouth, he just ruined it all. Like, for himself. I remembered how paranoid he was, and he like immediately accused me of being on the wrong side of the argument. He didn't like that I was working for this corporation, and I was like, and as soon as he started talking all that BS, I was like, oh, thank God, this is going to be so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I was like, bye-bye. That's it. I can let you go on the basis that you're just annoying. That's fine. I was worried over nothing. And now I'm free and clear. I'm free and clear to play the rest of the game and enjoy it. And I think you get... I don't know what kind of romance options I'm going to have in front of me, but I'm very careful when I talk to my crew not to say anything even remotely flirty, because once you get one, all the others shut you down. So I'm being very careful. I want all my companions before I make a decision. Well, because, girl, you know I'm going for the Paramore achievement this time around. I'm doing it. All right. Anyway, let's go back up, because now Mithery's here. We can talk about a little bit of our 7 Days to Die playthrough. I think we went to our shared server. We had a horde night that was absolutely insane, and afterwards, me and Myth decided we didn't want to live in the house we were living in anymore, so we took an entire gameplay session, and an entire 7 Days to Die gameplay session for us lasts pretty much all night, and we moved. We moved to a new town, where there's a trader, and to a really, really nice house. Like, a really nice house.
We got on our vehicles, went over to another town, looked around, said, ooh, we really like this house, let's move. And then we realized the days were passing too fast and had the server set for a longer day. Moving is hard.
Yeah, moving is hard. We had to make several trips, and then, we had to paint and reorganize a bunch of stuff before we started moving things in. It was really a good day, actually, and we're really proud of the work that we've done there. I can't wait for the gang to see it on our shared server.
Love finding houses that we've never seen before.
I know, I could never afford this house in real life. Like it's just too nice.
There's a pool house in the back.
Yes.
So nice.
Pool house, big giant garage, 2 cars, and so we made a golf cart so that we could just motor around town whenever we feel like it. I started building a Horde Night. I found a perfect building for Horde Night. So
I was reading that they think the 20 is coming out by Halloween.
Really nice, perfect timing.
They're not going to be calling it stable, but it'll be out.
It'll be out in experimental, I betcha. I really hope that I can carry my vanilla game forward into Alpha 20.
Me
Because it'll make me so sad if I can't. All right.
Me too.
So
I love that house.
Who played Satisfactory?
Me.
All right, tell us about it.
Brent and I played. We played all last week. And, we played. And we were moving right along. We had found oil, and the oil is so far away that we're having to carry it in to our main base.
Like
we're running
with your
everything
hands?
off coal. Yeah, we're running everything off of coal, and we've got a few oil generators over there, but we're having to package it up and carry it in with our hands. So he's trying to set up a truck system to bring it in on some trucks, but still, that's a big pain. Then I went and found a geyser, so I set up a generator on some water, on a water geyser.
It sounds like you guys have logistical problems.
Yeah.
Your alien overlords are not going to like that.
We just were able to make hazmat suits.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I'm thinking we're going to have a new fuel source pretty soon.
Nice. Very nice. And I'm so glad that Rent is enjoying this game with you. That way,
he calls me
and Saba
me from work.
I don't have to get pulled in
about
there.
it.
Oh, that's good. He's obsessed. That's a sign of being obsessed. Yep. And we played Remnant. We're going to play Remnant tonight. We had the hardest time finding the next area where to go because the last time we beat Singe, we beat that first big boss, or the one of the last big boss that we needed to beat, and we didn't actually advance to talk to the keeper like we should have.
What we were thinking.
So we don't know what we were thinking. We had to go all the way back.
We thought it was another boss fight because it spits you out right in front of another door that looks like the door where you go into a boss fight. And we'd just been through that hell of a fight, and we were ready to go to bed.
Yeah, we were not ready for that. We were not ready for that much jelly. But we finally figured it out. I feel like I'm in Stargate SG-1 or something. And
gone through portals?
Yeah. I love it.
Me too.
I really like the deserty area that we're in right now, and we're learning about new bosses and about new mobs, and it's very cool.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And who played Grounded?
Actually, Saba and I played
Saba?
once.
You guys played Grounded?
Not very long, because I was in Morticia's chair.
Oh, that's right. In the Morticia, you can't play very long in the Morticia chair. Did you? Nope. Well, how much DDO are you playing? Are you recording everything?
I am. Well, I'm doing my one a day, so I did 3 of the quests out in recorded 3 of the quests out in the Borderlands, which will come out the first week in October.
Perfect. So, you guys have anything else to add before I move on to housekeeping?
Nope.
Right on, housekeeping. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. The Damsels Game on YouTube, The Damsels Game at Podcast Garden, and The Damsels Game in your heart.
Aww.
When is next time? It's like 2 weeks
October
from now?
10th.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thanks to everyone who joined us for the live show. Come join us in a few minutes here on this channel. We are going to be playing Remnant from the Ashes. And it is not an easy game. It is really, really a lot of fun. So if you're curious about it, please feel free to stick around. Until then, you can email us. We are thedamselsgame@gmail.com. Email us and tell us that you emailed us so that we can mention you in our email section of the show notes today.
It's Just mail us and say, hey, I emailed you.
And we are at twitch.tv/The Damsels Game. You can also follow us on Twitter. I'm at Lessa, Mithery is at Mithery1, and Sabajade is at Sabajade. Mithery Inferno.
Close the window.
Right on. Thanks very much for joining us, guys.